take a walk around the property a little bit and talk about my plans. I have to remember that this is a hobby at the moment. I can't overwhelm myself in the first year. So just fence post buried in the ground. This is like a little depression here. But I also like the fact that the previous owner did supply the land with there's a water pipe coming up there which is connected to a well. So I'm now at the northern part of the land. This is a little embankment here. As you drive into the house, it's actually, you probably see the overhead image that it's quite overgrown. And what I want to do here is clear it, because this is probably just going to get worse and worse. And there's a nice bit of land there that we're actually losing out on. So I've actually ended up talking to a local guy who runs a business where he brings in goats to help clear land. And that's just an ideal project for him. So he came out, visited recently, and he's going to bring his herd of goats there soon, and they're going to have an absolute feast. And it's also a trial for me in a way to see how I feel about having animals on the land. This is the northwest corner, and it feels like it's actually the highest point. If I look at the land from here, it's actually gently sloping down to the southwest corner there, and I don't feel drainage is going to be an issue here. And in fact, I think I know that because we had quite some heavy rain recently. I came out to have a walk. There was very little, actually almost no pooling except for that area that I showed you a second ago. But I've also noticed, I thought it was quite interesting, especially from the overhead image, all these little tracks that kind of radiate to a center point, which is actually the area where the water pooled. And I put it out to a message group, and the general consensus was that they were animal tracks, either ancient or current. I mean, that could have been the ponies that lived on this land, or rabbits could be using them right now. I have seen rabbits on the land, and I've seen a pheasant. In fact, here's one right now that I'm standing in. You can see it. Doesn't bother me. So what is it that I want to do on this land? What's my goal? I guess in recent years, as I've read more and more and learned more about growing and nature and the environment, I've become a little more conscious and aware of traditional farming practices and just the rate at which we are consuming resources and destroying land. So I just feel responsible that if I am going to farm here, to do it in a manner that is honest, as natural as possible. And I know there's a lot of terms for that these days. You can call it regenerative, sustainable, organic. I'm really not concerned with what label is put on it right now, or if I will even get organic certification. I think that's too far down the line. But I need to decide early on what way I want to do things. And to me, doing things as natural as possible without any synthetic inputs or chemicals, pesticides, is the way to do it, and I think that's what people want. I think even just reducing the food miles for people is a huge factor these days. If I can grow a lot of vegetables on this piece of land, I think there's a lot of people that would be more than happy to take that off my hands. People are definitely more conscious of where they're getting their food and how it's produced, and I want that transparency here. I envisage a place where people can come, whether that's a farm walk or, you know, picking up some produce, even potentially picking your own, helping out at times. I want it to be a place where community is at the front and we're integrated into the town. Another term I've heard recently is human scale farming, and that does describe what I want to go for here, which is it refers to the tools and processes really that can be managed by humans. So to me that looks like a lot of manual labor, and that's fine, and that's going to be very hard. I'm under no illusions that it's going to be very difficult at times, but I think it's also quite a rewarding, satisfying, noble profession. I mean, to me, we have these bodies that we've been gifted, so why aren't we using them? I don't want the reliance on machinery. So I did mention that I have a helper on farm. This is it. I took delivery of it this week. It's a Kubota EX231 subcompact tractor. It's 23 horsepower. I got it with a loader and a post hole digger, and there's also a flail mower coming. So that would certainly help me keep control of the grass in the pasture. It will help with digging or lifting large amounts of compost and wood chip, putting up fence posts, digging holes for apple trees. So I think it'll certainly help with a lot of manual labour. It's not going to go anywhere near the vegetable beds, probably. That's still going to be all hand tools. Apologies, my hands are shaking. It's so cold. And I just think this will pay off in years to come when I am not having a back operation for absolutely wrecking myself lifting heavy things around the farm. Plus it just looks amazing. This is my new best friend. So before loads of people point out in later videos that I'm doing things wrong or I don't know what I'm doing, I already know. I'm not a farmer. I have no agricultural background. This is all going to be a learning experience, but hopefully it will all lead to something amazing. And I'm very excited to be on the journey, but mistakes will happen and failures will happen, and it's all about having the right attitude to when things going wrong and keeping the mind open and willing to learn. That's my plan. The main reason I started this channel was more so to document for myself, as well as suppose sharing any of my learnings, and hopefully in years to come I can look back at this video and say, there's the green field, that it started with, and an idea. Hopefully in a few years' time it's not still a green field, but somewhere that's teeming with life and many different vegetables and fruits, and let's see how it goes. If you do want to stick around, you should probably push the subscribe button, possibly even the like, I don't know, if you want.